o'clock, live from Studio 6B on the East Coast on a Monday. Getting a brand new week started. May 12th. Uh-oh. Test.
What happened?
I don't know. I may have some mic issues here. Can you hear me, friend? Test. Okay. 8 o'clock on the East Coast. I don't know. All right. Yeah, Delgado, take it over.
8 o'clock on the East Coast, 5 o'clock on the West Coast. What's the intro? Oh my goodness, I don't have it in front of me. I can't. Hey, Kevin, how are you?
I'm groovy, thank you. I'm groovy. I think I have the working microphone, so I'll take it from here. You boys can go relax. Let's talk about the communists, right? Folks.
How you doing, man?
I'm good, thank you. I'm wearing my Mac Lounge hat.
From the Friday Night Cigar Lounge that came to the America First Warehouse. Live from Studio 6B on a Monday night. Dish Network Channel 219, Pluto TV Channel 240, 1175 on Samsung TV Plus, Roku TV, Apple TV, Amazon Fire, and of course, TV 106. That is on Select TV Channel 106. Remember, following us on all the socials. We're talking about Rumble, YouTube, Facebook, Twitter, X, Kick, Getter, Instagram, and on Instagram, just remember it's always LFS6B Show on Instagram, as well as making sure you go to the home of everything live from Studio 6B, live from Studio6B.com. Kevin Downey Jr., as I mentioned, is here as our guest, sitting in for Paul Nolan, who decided he needed a vacation. So we're more than happy to have Kevin. Kevin, how are you?
You know, I'm doing very well, thank you. It's talk about good news all around today. Nothing the liberals can say. I'm sure it's on the list. A trade deal, the war that was going to happen or was happening between India and Pakistan, that's gone. Cheap drugs, pharmaceuticals, not, those drugs. So, yeah, everything's going great.
Not the street variant?
Yes, not the street variant. Not the type that some people I know may have been salesmen for. I like to call them. They're not drug dealers. They're pharmaceutical salespeople.
Oh, okay. Very good. And from what I understand, and this is a rumor that I heard about you from the Friday night show, is that you might have a radio show. Where can people listen to that? If they were so inclined, if they came across some type of platform that they could find you on, where would they search?
Yeah, you can listen to it worldwide, folks. You don't have to be on Long Island. Go to linewsradio.com, or you can get the app. Or you can go to iHeart, but they don't really advertise well on there. I would dodge that. So either go to linewsradio.com or get the LI News Radio app in the Play Store, and I'll be there every Monday through Friday, 9 to 11, clown slapping communist.
All right, very good. So make sure you check that out. Of course, he'll be with us on Friday night. Are you doing any giveaways, maybe? Because I understand that maybe you might have some tickets for Friday that you're going to be sharing.
You know what? I gave away a pair today, but I'll probably give away another pair on Wednesday. So tune in, get your free tickets to the America First Warehouse.
All right, very good. We've also got Slick Rick is in the house. He's going to be doing sports as he makes his way to his seat. Damon is making his way back to his on a Monday night. We got, like Kevin said, there is so much stuff happening in the news that it's impossible to kind of get to it. I think it's going to be impossible to get to it all tonight. We'll do our damnedest to try. But like I said, Slick Rick is here. Slick, how are you, my friend?
Good evening, Rick. How are you?
Doing well. What's shaking? What's going on in your neck of the woods?
Well, it's great to be here. Well, big news today. Michael Jordan. Obviously, NBC is picking up the NBA contract for television rights next year. Michael Jordan will be a contributor now, which is huge. I mean,
really?
The great Michael Jordan, kind of like Wayne Gretzky. But when it comes to hockey, we have some dispute here and there. But when it comes to NBA, we know that Michael Jordan is the greatest of all time. So we'll talk about that. The Knicks, right? Playoff game tonight. Big playoff game in action right now. We'll keep you up to date with that. And also, we got NHL playoffs. A lot of great stuff going on tonight, Rick.
Yeah. Just a quick hit in the first quarter there, Slick. It's 22-20, Boston up by 2.
Oh, good. Well, the Knicks were down 13-4, so they came back a little bit there.
With 3 minutes to go in the first quarter. So it's going to be hopefully a much better showing than they did on Saturday in Game 3. So tonight is Game 4, and we're hoping that they bounce back.
It's a linchpin game for them. I think whoever wins tonight is going to take the series, quite frankly.
Yeah. All right. Very good. I was just about to throw it to Damon. I thought he was ready to go. He's obviously not ready to go. Like Kevin was saying, though, there is so much, and we've talked about this before, where you can't really take the weekend off, so to speak, right, Kevin? I mean, things seem to always be happening. It's kind of at a breakneck speed. And if anything, you're talking about the China deal, right? We talking about the China deal, the big trade deal. He was talking about that Friday. They were going off to Switzerland or something with Scott Bessent and some other people. They were going to meet and talk. So that's breaking. You've got the pharmacy deal.
Yeah, that's huge.
That's a huge. That's I believe is the big one he was talking about, right? He said this is going to affect everybody. People are going to love this.
I thought it was that, but
I thought it was
so
that
many
too.
Things.
Right.
In one morning, he does more than the other administration does in 10 years.
Yeah, it's amazing. Every day is like Christmas.
Crazy, right?
All right, I think I'm
Non-stop.
back.
Hey.
We have a working microphone cord, new cord. There you go.
Oh.
Live from Studio 6B. Sorry about that, boys. 6 minutes past the hour. Thank you for picking it up. Slickster, how are you?
I'm doing good, Big Dick.
What'd you think of Friday's show?
Friday's show was fantastic. Absolutely great. I had a great time. Enjoyed it. Nelson Mandela. And I brought artistry and apartheid together in one segment. It was amazing. But other than that, I thought it was a fantastic show. Really loved the vibe.
Yeah, very good. We'll get into that. We'll get into all the news, like Delgado was saying. All the news, there's a lot of it. And I don't know. I'm just going to be positive so that I don't get emails and hate on the big, beautiful bill that's dropped tonight as well. So we'll maybe focus on that later in the show, if at all. So we'll try to keep it positive with some of the other stuff that's going on, because that is a, unmitigated disaster, of course. But we'll get to a lot of... So first thing is, let's get to the president today, because I told the president when I spoke to him earlier that I wanted this conversation kept off the record. But he decided that wasn't going to be the case.
That wasn't going to happen.
So I'm a little upset about this because I really wanted this to remain private, but here's the president talking about our conversation today.
I mean, I'll tell you a story. A friend of mine who's a businessman, very, very, very top guy. Most of you would have heard of him.
Thank you.
A highly neurotic,
Definitely
businessman.
Excuse me?
Seriously overweight.
Nobody
And he
home
takes
here.
The fat shot drug. And he called me up and he said, President, he calls me, he used to call me Donald, now he calls me President, so that's nice respect. But he's a rough guy, smart guy, very successful, very rich. I wouldn't even know how we would know this, but because he's got comments. President, could I ask you a question? What? I'm in London, and I just paid for this damn fat drug I take. I said, it's not working. He said, I just paid $88. And in New York, I pay $1,300. What the hell is going on?
He's right. He's right.
I was a little upset about that we couldn't keep that conversation private, but what are you going to do?
And I'll tell you a story. A friend of mine who's
Sorry about
a
that.
business.
Got another story.
Yeah. What are you going to do? You know?
I'm glad that he didn't keep it private. I think we should all be in tune to what goes on in your private life there, Damon.
Yes.
Being that you're neurotic, according to him.
Neurotic, tough guy, rich
Right.
guy.
What the hell were you doing in London?
Taking the fat shot.
You were in
It's not
London?
It's not working.
I think Damon was having a London broil when he called him, maybe.
Oh, God. That is as good as, do you like my garbage truck?
Yeah.
You said to me, Mr. President, I'm taking this fat shot. I said, it's not working. Oh, man.
Or even the other day when he was asked about the Pope. I'd like to be Pope.
Yeah, sure.
I'd be my first choice.
I'd be my first choice. But, man, it's not working. That hits a little differently. So, 9 minutes past the hour, live from Studio 6B. Let's get some more video right off the jump here. Let's get to this, because I saw this today.
You are in a mood.
And, by the way, Delgado, how was your day today?
It was, you're referring to that, are you? It was good. How was your day, Damon?
My day was fine.
Who I saw speeding up the road.
I saw.
Oh, did you?
As soon as I got behind
he's
him, I
horrible on
knew.
the
As soon as I got behind him, I knew it was him. I said, "Oh, that's Delgado in front of me." I could.
Oh, tailgating.
Yes, he was
I can just
tailgating.
tell.
You got
I
more
noticed that.
tailgates than a college pregame.
So
I'm talking about.
I pulled up next to him and told him he was number one in my book.
And I told you sucked in yours. Turns out we were both heading to a doctor's appointment.
Yeah, exactly. So
how's your eye? Is your fat eye, your fat oil eye, whatever?
it's not working.
It's not working. The oily eye is that going to be fixed?
Working as well as your microphone, sir.
Well, no, it's working good now, Kev.
Okay.
So, Kev, what'd you think about Mac Mobile, by the Mac Mobile cigars?
You know what? I'm a fan. I'm wearing their hat now, Mac Mobile Cigars.
Good-looking hat.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, that is nice.
I don't even know how to say it. They haul this cigar lounge.
Yeah.
It's a traveling cigar lounge. And they've got a bunch of sticks in there. You pick what you like, place to sit down. They've got the fan on the ceiling to blow it out. I thought it was great. And
It's a real smoke show. Yeah.
What a genius idea.
Yeah.
I want one.
I thought it was great. So more video today. So this is what was going on, I guess, in Newark, New Jersey. And I'm just wondering, who's telling these people that this is something they should be doing, that this is resonating with anyone? Here's some protesters out in front of Newark, New Jersey. This is like the new thing now. They all want to be like part of like the King Singers, I think, but they're not the King Singers. They all suck. Here it is.
Fascism's got to go. Got to go. We say no. We say no. We say no. We say no. Fascism's got to go.
There you go.
All right, that's the
Liberal
scene
ladies, that's what you have to look forward to in your life.
I mean, I just don't know who's telling them to go do. Who's telling them that singing is their thing? Who's telling them? I want to know.
Somebody's got to go. Whoever's telling them that.
Kev, have you ever protested anything and decided that maybe what I should do is just sing?
Well, as you know, I used to be a liberal, and I had this roommate named Bon Iver. No, never. I would never sing. You know what? I want to point this out, though. If you look at the Tesla protests, which have mysteriously slowed down a great deal, it's always the seniors first who are out there. These ragged old hippies with nothing else to do. They've signed up to a list. Yeah, we'll fight fascism again like we did before. And they're not. They're actually fighting for fascists. But the way they recruit these elderly people is insane to me. This is not the Marxist army of 2020 when BLM and their Sally Boy sisters over in Antifa were burning down the big blue toilet towns. Now we've got their grandparents who are back out there sticking it to the man, as they think they're doing.
I don't know, Delgado. Who tells them to go sing?
I don't know, but this is what all you young liberal ladies have to look forward to: a life of probably lots of cats and singing in front of detention centers in your future. But that should be a lot of fun.
Bad singing. Not even.
Oh my goodness!
My God, couldn't carry a tune with a handle on it. All right, just getting started. Live from Studio 6B on a Monday. Brand new week. Lots of news, lots of sports, a lot of Kevin Downey Jr. all coming up on a Monday right after this. Say we got... LFS 6B. Oh, God, this is not the day for me to have to read this.
All right, Big D. Jag Blacker gave us a $5 super chat. Did Damon wear a suit when he spoke to Trump, or go Zelensky with sandals? So when you spoke with Trump, were you wearing a suit?
Well, it was on the phone, obviously, as you could hear.
Okay.
When he told me the fat shot wasn't working.
Wow.
Wow.
Well, that's a nice gift.
Whoa.
Speaking of that, the Cowboys play the Eagles the first game of the season.
sir.
You see that?
Who's that from?
Susan Vogt.
Aaron?
She's an artist.
Wow.
You and Fran?
It's a beauty. Look there. Look at
Yes.
that.
Look out.
Oh, boy. Mic drop.
Mike's not working. Light's not working. Oh. Then we got Ben, Paul, and me.
Susan Vogt. Sure.
No.
Yeah.
All right, Delgado, can you read this since my eyes are still dilated and I can't see nothing? I mean, no, it's just I can't see anything. Everything's a blur.
When I the shies are smiling.
All right. LFS6B, hey guys, and Aaron, that's you, Aaron. Just want to say how much I love the show. Great information, lots of laughter. Thank you for all that you guys do. Enclosed are prints from an oil canvas original. It's a 16 by 20 limited edition, signed and numbered.
Nice.
I hope you all enjoy the print.
Oh, make sure the back has your name. I didn't realize
Thank
that.
you.
Oh, okay.
I happen to
Oh,
get
I got
mine.
friends. What's going on here?
Many blessings
Oh, I didn't realize that. Sorry.
from a
about that.
loyal listener, Susan Voigt.
I got Vince.
I got friends.
Okay, so this one's mine. This
There's
is
only
big
250 of these.
Ah,
Thank you.
here's Slick.
Very
Here
much.
we go.
That's
This is
Vince.
mine.
Okay, give me Vin and Paul. Keep them back here.
Aaron.
That's Fran. That's it. Photo finished. Let's go.
Okay, there we go.
Beautiful.
There we go.
Look
Pretty
at
nice.
this. Very nice.
Beautiful.
Susan, thank you very much.
Only
Look at that
250.
blue.
Yeah, thank you.
That blue. I got shoes that color.
I'm one of 250. What are you
Yeah.
guys?
You're one of 250?
One of 250. What are you guys?
I'm 129.
I'm 135.
Oh, jeez.
I'm 251
Yeah.
of 250.
Jeez.
Oh.
Shows you where I rank. Yeah. Goes that raise I was pining for.
I'm 251 of 250.
Ooh, that's about right.
Is that even possible? No, I'm 134.
Very nice. All right, 17 past the hour, live from Studio 6B on a Monday. Just getting a brand new week started. Glad you're in. We'll be back Friday live at the American First Warehouse. We hope to see you there as we continue on our live Friday nights. Kevin Downey Jr., Rick Delgado, Slick Rick, Vinnie Mac, Paul Nolan, everybody, Aaron Fran, all there. Harry on the highway as well. Come check us out if you're in the New York area. If you're on Long Island, of course, or you're in the New York area, come on over to the America First Warehouse. It's been a lot of fun the first 2 weeks. I think it's only going to get better. We get some music going on in there. We get some other things going on. So it's going to be a good time.
A good time there.
And man, Joe the Box is just
He's the best.
he's the best.
He really
He's just
is.
so accommodating and just wants to make sure everybody has a good time. So
Joe, his
and we
family,
did
they
it.
take good care of everybody.
And
They're
we
just
did on
great.
Friday. It was a blast. So
And the steak truck was there.
The state truck was
Big
in the
truck
house.
was there. Mac Mobile Cigar. If you're on Long Island, by the way, I mean, not to give them a shameless plug, but I mean, if you got your boys want to hang out and watch the game like tonight, you should have this thing in your driveway with 8 of your buddies out there smoking stogies and watching the Knicks. They'll back it right
Definitely.
into your driveway and just park it there. And by the way, the guys who own it are so cool. They don't even. I wouldn't if I hired them. I'd make sure they're part of the party. They're so good.
Yeah, they are. That is true.
I say, you guys aren't going anywhere. Let's go.
Come on.
Light them up.
Fire it up.
So if you're on Long Island, you got to hire them to come do your party because they're great. So
They are the best.
Monica Showalter today over at the American Thinker. Trump's China trade deal is a good start, and I thought that was a fair way to say it because there's people out there trashing it today, and I thought a good start was a good way to put it. And she says. Markets today were jumping for joy of the news that President Trump's lightning-fast trade deal with China over the weekend in Switzerland, lowering tariffs on both sides. According to the New York Post, the U.S. and China have agreed on a deal to help resolve the trade war raging between the world's 2 largest economies, top Trump administration officials announced on Sunday. Details of the deal struck during negotiations in Switzerland over the weekend were not revealed, but officials teased that more information will be shared on Monday. The U.S. has a massive $1.2 trillion trade deficit, so the president declared a national emergency. And now we know a little more. And that's, of course, what people who are hammering it about, saying, well, what's really the deal here? Once again, it's not really, it doesn't seem like a deal. It seems more like an outline for some deal maybe to come. And what did China really give up? But we'll get to that in a second. Tariffs would go back to Trump's baseline 10% for China, plus a 20% add-on Based on China's failure to curb the fentanyl trade, China would issue a reciprocal 10% back on the U.S. and promises to buy more U.S. agricultural products. According to Investor Business Daily, that set the stage for happy stocks, which we saw today. The market was up around 1,100 points, I believe. Monica Showalter says it speaks well for the negotiating prowess of Treasury Secretary Scott Bessent and his partner, U.S. Trade Representative Jamieson Greer, who had their biggest trade deal in front of them over the weekend. Charlie Gasparino over at Fox Business said, in talking to sources who run small businesses, the pause with China came just as their company were on the precipice of disaster since they sourced so much of the materials from China, and the containers coming from China were coming back empty. But the nitty-gritty, she says, is still to come on the details. Elizabeth McDonald over at Fox Business also had a good scoop on what's going on. She outlines the conventional wisdom, which is kind of absurd, claiming Trump somehow caved in to China. How can they say that, given the 20% tariff slap at China over its fentanyl exports is beyond me, but here we are. And Elizabeth McDonald from Fox Business has an interesting tweet today. You can put this up, Aaron, if you have it. She says, I got fascinating detail on China's demands in the U.S. trade talks. Major concerns for the Trump team in the U.S. I am still working sources, more to come. China really wants to invest in the U.S. artificial intelligence, which the U.S. opposes as it's critical to U.S. national security, the economy, and due to China's history of technology IP theft. On top of that, China demands the U.S. ease export control so it can get its hands on even more U.S. chips and U.S. quantum computing, again, major national security and copycatting concerns here. Plus, Beijing demands the U.S. formally recognize China as a market economy. That way, China would not be hit with anti-dumping restrictions where it can dump its goods like electronics, steel, solar into the U.S. markets and other markets worldwide, undermining local U.S. businesses and sectors. It's also demanding even more favorable treatment under the WTO rules. China also doesn't like Biden's Inflation Reduction Act. It wants the U.S. to drop its provisions that favor U.S. domestically produced components for electric vehicles and renewable energy projects. Beijing has proposed to significantly increase its purchase of U.S. goods, notably in U.S. agriculture, energy, and manufacturing, plus invest more in U.S. electric car batteries. The question, too, is if China, if it has tightened controls enough on chemicals used to produce fentanyl. Specifically, it has added substances like 4-AP, 1-BOC, 4-AP, and non-fentanyl to its list of regulated chemicals, requiring companies to obtain export licenses and provide detailed documentation for such shipments. But China merely requiring more red tape is likely not enough to stop the U.S. fentanyl crisis. So that from Elizabeth McDonald over at Fox Business. So, again, to the point of Monica Showalter's piece, she says, in the meantime, this is a much called for respite between the two. So far, so good. The Trump team is showing its typical competence once again. So I thought that was pretty fair. Good start. Certainly not any kind of a long-term deal. And people who are hammering it, like Peter Schiff today, are saying, how is this trade deal any win for Trump? China didn't agree to anything. Trump puts on 145% tariffs. They put on retaliatory tariffs. Trump says, okay, I'll take them off. They say, okay, I'm taking them off. We're back to square one, which is essentially what the argument is. You know, the 145% was a bargaining chip. China called his bluff, and now we're back to basically zero. But I think that's a little sour grapes to me, Delgado. What do you think?
It just sounds like they just try and pee on everybody's parade. No matter how nice it is outside, they have to do this. They cannot allow Trump to have a positive outcome to anything. Whether it be this, whether it be the hostage that was just released, whether it be in court with the IRS now sharing illegals' data. I mean, you name it, across the board, they cannot have this. They will not agree to it, and they will find any way possible to paint it in a negative light.
I mean, even if we were at 10%, and then we added 145, they added whatever, then we just say, okay, I'll take it off, you take it off, but we're adding the 20% on because of the fentanyl thing.
Right.
We're still at 10% us, 30% them. How is that not somewhat of a win? It's a start. Again, what she said. It's a start.
Yeah.
Is it not?
It's definitely putting us in the right position, because obviously, the tariffs were working on them because they were so eager to get this done. They just saw, they just saw India's coming to terms. They saw the UK deal. They see everything going in the U.S. direction and not theirs, and they're hiding the fact that they have a lot of problems, China stateside, that they don't want spilling out there, and they've got to get control over this, right?
Absolutely. And look at Chuck Schumer. He had to jump on the bandwagon too. He writes, he said this. Sadly, it looks like China once again got the better of Trump. Another example of Trump chaos. He has one policy one day, one the next. Who knows what it'll be tomorrow? They're jumping on this because it's a big win for Trump, or it's in the direction of a win. And it was such a great day, so much good news. They have to attack it, but everyone knows that this is a great start. And the market's responded, and everything's looking peachy, and that's what they fear more than anything.
All right, 26 past the hour, live from Studio 6B with sports and news coming up next when we get back on a Monday night.
Chat, live in the chat. We didn't do that live in the chat the first time because we were opening up a gift.
Yeah, I did drag Blacker real quick.
Oh, you
I
did?
wrote off his $5 about Damon dressed like Zelensky when he spoke to Trump.
That's right.
But Damon said he didn't speak. He didn't meet him. He just
No, we were
to him.
talking on the phone.
yeah. Was Harry there?
So I'm taking these fat shots. He said, it's not working.
Howdy, Rumblers. Jumping over to the Rumble chat. Howdy. You got Ordinary Passenger in there. John D. 6307. Marty Kin. MAGA Patriot 63. Ratchet. Susie 321. Tika 65.
The Knicks on tonight, right now.
Oh, I'll put them on, yeah.
Yeah.
By the way, happy belated Mother's Day to everybody. I hope everybody had a nice day.
Knicks are going down tonight. Smoke City.
What did I say about Game 3? If I could get $100,000
Oh, my
loan,
God.
I would.
That was, you know what?
It was the easiest
Yeah.
money ever in the history of sports betting.
I think a lot of people made money when they saw
The
that line.
absolute easiest. That was
5.5 on the road.
free money. Team down 0-2 on the road at MSG, 5.5. Are you kidding me? Oh, my God. It was so easy.
That game was over almost at hello.
What about the game yesterday between Indiana and Cleveland?
Oh, my God. It was 40 points at one point. I looked. It was
They had a-
87-47.
They had a
It was
40-point lead
80-37 at half.
at half.
80-37 at
They
half.
had 80 points at the half. It was
Yeah, it was like an all-star game.
it was
no
crazy.
defense, right? Ole!
It was the
that was
craziest
unbelievable.
thing.
That was unbelievable.
Jumping into the Twixers.
Man,
Twixers.
I need a coffee.
Howdy, Twixers.
People are like the nerve that I wore a regular brown suit. Like, what the hell?
Yeah,
happened
what's
to
with the
me?
brown
they
suit?
think I
It
must
threw
have
me
got
off.
mugged on the way in. I got to start a Go Fashion Me account. I need new clothes.
Go Fashion Me.
I got a nice pair of shoes on too. Look out.
Nobody can see your shoes till the end of
They
the
will
night.
see at the end of the night. They'll see them. This is a nice shirt. This is a Robert Graham, which makes beautiful shirts. Big D has a couple of Robert Graham
I
shirts.
sure do.
Hey, Slick, Peter wants to know, where do you get your boots? Is there a website?
Well, there is one particular designer that I love in England, Jeffrey West.
Oh,
It's his muse
Jeffrey
line.
West. He's
Absolutely stunning.
Oof, yes.
And
I was
now
just on his website today.
Yeah, me too.
yeah, I'm sure you you're looking for a pair of wingtips. Yeah, no, but they're beautiful shoes, and that was the main guy I'd sent him to.
You're a
Looking
wingtip.
for a wing ding. All right, 30 minutes past the hour, live from Studio 6B on a Monday, getting a brand new week started, May 12th. Glad you're in. Slick's going to do sports coming up here in a second. Rick Delgado's going to do the news after that. Kevin Downey Jr. sitting in with the boys on a Monday night. Paul Nolan's in South Carolina. He'll be back maybe on Wednesday. We'll see what time his flight gets in. Kevin Downey will have news as well coming up here. Of course, you can listen to the Kevin Downey Jr. show. I hear in 2 hours, 9 to 11 weekday mornings on 103.9 LI News Radio. Of course, where you can hear this show Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday nights, 8 to 10. The great people at JVC Broadcasting.
Yes.
So we'll get to all of that. Aaron and Fran holding it down as always. Let's do some sports. Big night in sports. Knicks trying to really hold on. I know it sounds weird. It's up 2-1, but they lose tonight, they're done for sure.
This is a must-win.
Yeah,
absolute
linchpin
must-win
game
because you shouldn't really have won the first two. You got lucky, and then what should have happened, really did happen in Game 3, which of course the odds makers knew was going to happen. That's why it was free money. And now tonight, they're favored. Even Boston is favored, I think, by 6.5 tonight, even more. So more free money if you wanted to bet Boston tonight, because there's no way they should be 6.5. Slick, let's do some sports. Catch us up. What's going on in the game?
There you go, Big D. Yeah, Knicks playing with house money. Forgot to pay the taxes when they walked in on Saturday. That's exactly what happened, Big D. And they got a game right now. Celtics 48, Knicks 42. Celtics starting to come back a little bit. They were down by 13. Now they've come back. Well, actually, the Knicks have come back. So we'll see what happens there in the Garden. Like you said, linchpin game right now. Knicks lead the series 2-1. And I think if Boston wins this game and takes it back to Boston, it could be over. So we need a big win from the Knicks tonight in the Garden. We'll keep you up to date on that. 6:21 to go in the first half, so a lot of time. We have another game coming up tonight. Timberwolves at the Warriors in Golden State Chase Center. That's a 10 p.m. tip-off. Right now, Minnesota leads that series 2-1. It's a Game 4 tonight. To the ice we go. NHL action. Hurricanes in Carolina hosting the Washington Capitals. Game 4. Carolina leading that series 2-1. Looking to take a commanding 3-1 lead. Right now, they're up 2-0 with 6:56 to go in the second period. And the nightcap game out in Edmonton is the Oilers taking on the Golden Knights, 9:30 p.m. Game 4, Edmonton with a 2-1 lead, looking to go up 3-1 there. And, NBA draft lottery tonight, Big D, and the draft is out. And listen to this one. The Mavericks win NBA draft lottery with 1.8 odds. And guess who they may be drafting? One of your favorite college basketball players of all time, the great Cooper Flagg. So what do you think about that? Dallas Mavericks moved past the Luka Doncic trade in resounding fashion Monday by winning the NBA draft lottery and the accompanying right to select Duke's Cooper Flagg in June with the number 1 pick. This is Michael C. Wright of ESPN. The Mavericks had just a 1.8 chance to win the lottery and jumped up 10 spots to grab the top pick, the biggest jump by any team in lottery history, according to ESPN research. I know what you're going to ask me. What did Philadelphia get? They got the 3rd pick in the draft. What will they do with it? Who knows? Maybe they'll deal Embiid away and try to move up and get that Cooper Flagg.
I think if you trade away Luka Doncic, you should not be able to allow to make the number 1 pick. So Nico Harrison should be fired before that time because he should not be allowed to make that pick because that was the most abysmal trade in the history of the NBA. Yeah. So he should be fired before they are able to make the number 1 pick. Let somebody else make it.
As Paul Nolan would say, well, look what dropped into his lap. One of the greatest college basketball players in the last how many years? Now, is there any chance that he could stay at Duke? Right?
Of course he could. Right? It's totally up to him.
Yeah, I think he'll come out. I'm not sure. Well, obviously keep an eye on that.
And you said what? The Sixers got number 3?
Yeah, they got number 3.
Yeah, they'll probably end up drafting like Shedeur Sanders or something.
Yeah,
idiots.
Yeah, wrong league, but they'll take it. And one more story, big day. While we're on the NBA, we're talking about the hardwood. Obviously, Michael Jordan to join NBC as special contributor for NBA coverage. Jordan is considered the best NBA player of all time. Ryan Gatos of Fox News. Boy, that's not exactly breaking news. Michael Jordan will be back back in basketball next season. The 6-time NBA champion and Chicago Bulls legend will be a special contributor for NBC's coverage of the league as the network is set to broadcast games starting later this year. The announcement was made during NBC's upfront presentation in New York. I am so excited to see the NBA back on NBC. He said in a news release, the NBA on NBC was a meaningful part of my career, and I'm excited about being a special contributor to the project. I'm looking forward to seeing you all when the NBA on NBC launches this October. Jordan has been away from the game for nearly 2 years after he sold his stake of the Charlotte Hornets in August 2023 for more than $3 billion with a B. He's turned his attention to 23XI racing and the pursuit of a NASCAR championship, and now he's going to get on NBC. I think that's fantastic. I love NBC taking back the games, Big D. ABC has done a decent job with ESPN, but I always thought the NBC coverage was just a little bit better, in my own humble opinion. And that's a wrap in sports, Big D. Let's see. We got Boston 55, Knicks 47. I think the Knicks are hanging around. They're right where they want to be with 3:43 to go in the second. I expect an exciting finish, and we'll have that for you on the show a little bit later.
All right, very good, Slick. Sports is brought to you by our friend Mike Lindell, of course, as always. MyPillow, mypillow.com/LFS6B. LFS6B is the promo code to use if you shop at MyPillow. 35 past the hour. Let's do some news here with the boys. Kevin Downey Jr. coming up here in 1 second, but let's start with Rick Delgado. News is brought to you by Eternal Lifecoin, eternallifecoin.com. And, man, I shared a couple reviews that people left. I mean, just heart-wrenching but beautiful at the same time about how people are giving this as a gift. Just beautiful. I posted them on social media. So keep doing that if you've bought one. Keep leaving reviews on why you bought one and what it means to you. So they love them. EternalLifeCoin.com. Delgado, what's going on?
All right. Well, I guess the best news happened yesterday on Mother's Day. If you're the mom of Eden Alexander, the last known living American hostage in Gaza, was released by Hamas and reunited with his family today, ending an 18-month ordeal that began with the militant group's October 7th attack. Hamas announced last night that it agreed to free Alexander, 21, after several days of talks with the U.S., which bypassed Israel and formed part of an effort to reach a ceasefire and resume the flow of humanitarian aid to Gaza. Here is that meeting with the last American hostage, cut number 4. Here it is. Check it out for yourself as Eden Alexander's reunited with his family. Cut 4. Check it out. Yeah, there you have it. Just that's a Mother's Day gift, huh?
That's a gift.
And you know what? Biden had well over a year to make that happen. He did not. Trump did it in months.
Exactly. True. Alexander hadn't spoken to his mother, Yael, on the phone after he was released. Footage shown by the Israeli Defense Forces showed Steve Witkoff, U.S. Mideast envoy, handing the phone to him. He screamed, of course. His mom screamed, of course, "You're out, my soul, you're out." She exclaimed, "Everything is right." And of course, he was reunited with his mom in Tel Aviv. He was also shown holding a U.S. flag and Israeli flags as he embraced members of his family. The reunion comes as the U.S. President Donald Trump embarked on his Mideast tour with planned stops in Saudi Arabia, Qatar, and the UAE Emirates. So not a bad way to finish off your tour of the Middle East by bringing home another American hostage there, Damon, huh?
Was he considered a hostage or a prisoner of war?
I believe they considered him a hostage.
I thought so, too. That's what I read.
Okay.
Because Hamas isn't really an army.
Right. And they don't really have a country.
Right.
They're terrorists.
Yeah.
No, I was wondering if he was IDF.
He was. Yes, that's true.
Yeah.
I think he is in the IDF.
Right. So that's what I'm saying. Was he considered?
But Hamas isn't, though. I think, according to the Geneva Convention, it has to be 2 countries who are fighting.
Gotcha. Okay. What else, Delgado?
Well, you want good news from the Trump administration? Of course, we were talking about Big Pharma let's talk about Big Pharma, shall we? As President Trump has taken on Big Pharma by signing an executive order to lower the drug prices. I think this was the big tease he was talking about coming from over the weekend, as he declared Monday that the U.S. will no longer tolerate profiteering and price gouging from Big Pharma, as he signed this executive order implementing his administration in calling for most favored nation status when it comes to drug pricing. Here is actually RFK, cut number 5, lauding President Trump standing up to Big Pharma and making this happen for the American people. We're talking about cut number 5. Check this out.
But he can't be bought, unlike most of the politicians in this country. And he is standing here for the American people. I don't know what, there's writers like Lord Elizabeth Warren or Robert Reich who are saying that President Trump is on this side of the oligarchs. There has never been a president more willing to stand up to the oligarchs than President Donald Trump. And I'm very, very proud of you, Mr. President, for your courage, I'll say, because I don't want to be crude, your intestinal fortitude, your stiff spine, and your willingness to stand up for the American people. We have 4.2% of the world's population. Our country represents 75% of the revenues for pharmaceutical companies.
Yeah, it's amazing that, we basically pay everything goes to the pharmaceutical companies so they can take in these huge profits. And you played earlier with that clip with President Trump talking about his friend paying $1,300 in New York versus $88 for the fat shot in the UK, which kind of reminds me, when he's at the beginning there, RFK talks about him, kind of taking on the Big Pharma, not being able to be kind of basically bought off like the other senators. It reminds me of this clip that I saw of Sammy the Bull talking about when they were trying to approach Trump back in the day. Here's cut number 6. If you haven't seen this is very interesting, very telling, from a mob guy, an actual mob guy, talking about when they tried to intimidate and get Trump on the take. Cut number 6. Check out this one.
Actually try to press up on Trump, but you could never get to him.
Yeah.
Because he had ex-FBI agents all around him?
All the time. And I tried a couple of times to press him and make arrangements where I could work with him and on with him. I did that with other big contractors. I had the power of the unions. I could do all kinds of little things, but I couldn't get to him. He wouldn't bite. He just wouldn't bite. He didn't want to do anything like that. And there was layers of people in the middle. One of my guys said, "We'll go up to the office." I said, "We'll go up to the office. Everybody around him is an ex-FBI agent. We'll go up to the office, we'll get cuffed, and we'll go right to prison." So forget about Trump. He's a legitimate guy. He don't want to do it. Forget about Trump.
Yeah.
Yeah. So there you have it, from probably back in the late 70s and early 80s when Trump was really exploding onto the scene when it comes to real estate development in New York.
Yeah.
Right?
Mm-hmm. I wonder if he got the ex-FBI agents as bodyguards knowing that the mob would come after him.
Yeah, probably. Which is amazing when you stop and think about it, because we always heard he was close to FBI agents throughout his career in New York, and then to see the FBI turned against him, is kind of a strange little ironic twist of all of this. So another feather in the cap of the president as he makes the lowest prices paid for a drug in other developed countries. He's bringing that here to the price that the Americans will pay, according to what he said at the White House. Some prescription drug and pharmaceutical prices will be reduced almost immediately by 50, 80 to 90%. And he says that could be starting as quickly as today. So there you have it. Another good piece of news from the Trump administration, and Democrats hate it.
All right, 43 past the hour, live from Studio 6B. More to come on a Monday. Kevin Downey Jr. with news coming up right after this break. We're back in 3 minutes. off price controls. I'm not a huge fan of price controls.
No, well, it's
Remember when she wanted to do it? Remember when
hurts
Harris wanted to do it
capitalistic
on groceries and everybody was in an uproar on the right?
Yeah, I do remember that.
I'm wondering if all the pharmaceutical companies don't work together to say, hey, let's keep chemo real expensive.
Yeah, they're probably not allowed to lower it.
Yeah, and they're not allowed to make that agreement.
That's the
either.
argument against my argument, right? About free, we want free markets no matter what. Is that we don't really have a free market in the pharmaceutical space.
No.
Gillies. Sleepy Joe found a horse's head. That's about right. G-Dog in the chat. Whoa, nice one, Big D. Look at that one. G-Dog, $49.99. Go Color. Rick A. Fund. I got a fund going on.
Oh,
Big D.
man.
Hold on, he's starting a fund now. My Go Fashion fund here.
It's
Big D.
a
That's
brown
$50.
It's a brownout.
I could get away. I could buy a shoe with that. That's nice. Thank you, man. G-Dog, my man. I love you. That was nice of G-Dog.
Someone said Susan Vogt, who gave us these beautiful paintings, is in the chat. Do we know that for sure?
I don't know what chat
Which
she would
chat?
be in.
I see.
I don't know.
She might have a
X,
different
maybe?
handle.
I love it. Thank you. I think it's amazing.
It's not Susan Salabaro, is it? In the that's the one I know
No.
from YouTube.
Where did I see? Someone said she was in the chat. Tweet Potato, Damon. Susan Vogt is on here.
Yeah, she's in the X chat.
X.
Oh, she's in
the
X.
X chat. Well, there you go.
Okay. Well, Susan, if you're listening, thank you very much.
Yes,
Yeah,
those
they're
things are
gorgeous
awesome.
paintings. Really beautiful. I love the blue. The blue background is gorgeous.
You got to find a place to put. I'll put mine up here in the studio.
Yeah, sure.
I also got to put up the caricature that girl from week 1.
I have mine too. I've been thinking about it. I got to put it on the back of my set.
Yeah, we should put it up years behind.
Yep. Isabella, right? Isabella?
Yep, Isabella.
There
she is. Susan
Hi,
Vogt.
guys. Thanks. Yep.
I got a great email. I sent it to you, Big D, from a
Dave
guy.
Syverson says she's in X, so they won't find her. Ha, 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 ha.
Ha ha ha, Dave.
Ha, Dave.
We just found her. Dave.
We found her. We found you, too.
Yeah, Dave.
I got a nice email from somebody in Tucson, Arizona. He used to do radio, Long Island radio. Ed Martin. Yeah. What a nice email he sent. I'm going to read that. I'm going to
The guy who was up for DC,
No, nothing.
Ed Martin? Because he follows us on X.
Yeah, this is he was on. This guy does.
To the hour, live from Studio 6B. Trying to keep up with the story. Slick's trying to tell me, and Aaron's talking to me too, and I can't really follow it. So, who did what, Aaron? Now, can you tell me on air?
Yeah, we got an email over the weekend from someone named Ed Martin, who's on radio in Tucson, Arizona.
Oh.
And did a little hit about us and the show over the weekend, and he sent it to us. It's on his Substack.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
And he's
it's on
coming to
iHeartRadio.
he's coming to our studio audience this Friday.
Yes,
I have the story. I'll read it when I do sports.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, wow, very good.
Yeah, very nice.
Has anyone listened to the thing he did?
I did listen to it, actually.
And how was it?
Really good.
Really?
It was very nice, yeah.
Wow.
He was giving everyone props. It was cool.
Oh, wow.
I'm looking
Why
at it
am I
right
just
now.
hearing about this for the first time?
I got the email earlier
I forgot
today.
to tell you about it.
Lisa French on YouTube says Ed Martin in Tucson is a great guy.
Yeah.
He fills in for my friend Garrett Lewis on KNST 790.
Hey.
All right. Here is his Substack from 5/4/2025. Best nightly TV show.
Whoa!
I don't think he's talking about us.
Oh, yeah.
No, I'm kidding.
He is.
He's talking about the show after us. When he goes to sleep. That's a nightcap.
It starts at 10:01.
I love that show. I put a lid on it.
Now, Ed is a host of Ed Martin's Basic Training for Your Brain. His commentaries are heard weekdays on KNST AM 790 out of Tucson, Arizona, and on iHeartRadio when they broadcast. You can also access them anytime on Apple Podcasts, Spotify. Just search Ed Martin's Basic Trainings and hit the follow button or subscribe.
Yeah.
But he writes here, Your cable system suppresses this network, but it's worth finding. Real America's Voice is the home of the best nightly show. Live from Studio 6B. Imagine 3 or 4 guys sitting in a garage. He's probably right about the wings. Ed,
that's an upgrade.
He's got us nailed right from the jump.
Ed, it's almost like
he's got it, man.
Ed, it's almost like you're here.
Yeah.
Sitting in the garage talking about stuff that's going on. Real people, real reactions, serious, funny, and informative. In this quickie, Ed shares what he and his wife watch every evening. Mr. and Mrs. Martin watch the show, Damon. Skip the fancy hair and makeup crowd. You could say that again, right, KD?
That's a waste. What do I comb my hair with, slick?
A firecracker. M80. Blockbuster.
And check these guys out. He says, warning, you may pee your pants laughing.
Oh, man.
Yeah. He wrote me a separate email, and he said, please allow me to dump some praise on you. My wife found LFS6B, and we've been religious viewers for over a year now. We live in Tucson, Arizona, and watch while having dinner. I must say that on occasion, you have said something that has caused me to almost spit my food out in laughter. It gets too hot there in the summer, so we come east to upstate New York, and you guys punctuate each day and are the last thing we watch before retiring. Needless to say, we are addicted, and if there is ever an LFS6B anonymous, we would be a charter members, except we are never going to give you guys up. He's an old Long Island radio guy, and he said, we bought tickets to be in the studio audience this coming Friday. Hopefully nothing will get in the way of us making the trip, as this is my birthday gift to my wife. All right, Big D, you better have a birthday cake ready.
We better not suck.
Yeah. Oh, he said, bravo, tell Damon to double your pay.
Tell Damon what?
He said he told you to double my pay.
Yeah. So times that by 0 and add a 0.
Hey, I'm doubling down. Double out the door.
We'll speak about this on Friday. All right, let's do some news with the host of the Kevin Downey Jr. show.
That's awesome.
And that would be one Mr. Kevin Downey Jr. Mr. Downey Jr., what's going on?
Thank you, Big D. Man, you know what? I really hate these purple-haired transmobobs and Antifa, and they're coming back. I've been warning people on the Kevin Downey Jr. show, LANewsRadio.com, that this is coming. Now, look at this. These testicle-hating Antifa types are now sharing. They're sharing something called Burning Cables for Beginners. They're teaching people how to burn things. And, yeah. But look at this. They refuse to put it in a PDF because they think that one of their idiots will print it, and they'll use a fingerprint or something to catch them. So it says here, we've chosen not to make this text available as a PDF because we believe that if an arson guide is distributed in printed form, some people will inevitably keep it in their homes or in movement spaces. That's what they're calling terrorism, a movement here. Now, here's the question. How long are we as a nation going to tolerate domestic terrorists? I know Joe Biden let 50% of the Portland animals go. And you know what? What if right now, what if they just take all of them from the University of Washington where they were setting fires? What if they just put them on trial? If you set fire, that's a 5-year enhancement for arson. 5-year enhancement. And if you want to, and if you can, and I promise you they can easily throw a domestic terrorism charge on here. And these little pukes, they could go away for a long time, but we're not seeing it because I think they're protected by, the local Portland cops who are afraid to do anything because they're all on the same side. Yeah. But you know what, this is what Pam Bondi needs to do. If she's not going to give us the Epstein list, go get some of these, I don't even know if they're men or women. I don't think they know. They use whatever restroom they need to because, the resistance. And let's see, I got, this is great. I got a little update on dirty.
To your point, by the way, remember Portland, the Summer of Love?
Yeah.
When you had the mayor guy there trying to walk amongst them, and then, of course, he got so scared, he almost started crying and weeing in his pants, so they had to get him out of there. But they're all down with. I mean, when you're going after a government building, you want to firebomb the federal courthouse. He didn't care. It's just like Minnesota, in the front door, out the back. They have no interest in confronting or dealing with this or nothing.
Well, because a lot of them end up being their friends and family members.
Yeah, they raise money for them.
Right.
Now, remember, and this really steams my clams, a couple of senior women who were sisters, they had the audacity to say a prayer in front of an abortion clinic door. They got 2 years, but some BLM princess burned a cop car in honor of George Fentanyl Floyd in Brooklyn. She got 1.5 years. A year and a half. And she passed out firebombs to the other knuckleheads. She got less time from a federal judge than 2 elderly women, one of whom is in a wheelchair, who they were busted for saying prayers. That's what we were dealing with under Biden. I'm telling you, folks, Biden was the worst taste of tyranny this nation has seen since maybe Woodrow Wilson. I don't know.
Since Obama.
Since Obama, yeah, that was pretty bad. But, I mean, they're throwing people in jail. We need to throw them in jail. The only way the communist learns is if you punch him back. Otherwise, they're just going to get away with what they can, and they're going to get someone in, and then they're coming after us again. We want the Epstein list. You know what? I want to see Antifa doing serious time, too. That's huge. Otherwise, they won't stop. These are mostly rich white kids who have never been held accountable in their lives. I just wrote an article about, I had to change the title, about how none of these idiots have been punched in the head. And that's why they're doing it. They've never been punched in the face for being a knucklehead. And they're not going to stop until they're made to stop.
And the masks, too, right? They were able to wear these masks over their head. They should just be, because if most of them lost the mask, they'd start crying.
Well, yeah, most of them do start crying as soon as you try and take the mask off them.
Yeah, they'd start
because they're afraid of being exposed, and what that means is, my boss might see me, and then I'll lose my job, and then I'll have to actually pay my mom's rent with, with the ho-hos and bonbons that I'm supposed to be eating. That's usually what happens with these people because they're all losers,
little panty waist losers who don't want to be actually confronted with somebody from someone. But to Kevin's point. This is why people are talking about Summer of Love 2.0 coming up this summer.
Yeah, and you know
because what's happened to any of the ones who took in part 1? Nothing for the most part.
It was great. I did see a video of some of these Antifa, jerk offs trying to take on some people, and one guy he just starts swinging back. And to watch the Antifa guy swing like this was the funniest thing I've ever seen. It's like, dude, you're about to get really hurt, and he got really hurt.
He looked like he was playing badminton.
Right.
You got to get a handle on this.
Did I say something?
Yeah, get a handle on that vocabulary.
Live from Studio 6B.
Ed Martin got me worked up.
6B stands for basement. Hour 2 coming up right after this. The woman who is mayor of Portland, who she said, it's going to be a summer of love. And then when they went to her house one night, the next morning, it's at 6 a.m., they had the bulldozers out for the hippies.
I can't remember that name. I remember, she was like, wasn't she a blonde? I remember her, but I can't remember.
So. Ted Wheeler was the other one.
Summer of Chop.
Summer of Chop. No, now it's Chaz. We're fighting over the name.
Chaz, the greatest fragrance of the 80s. Chaz for men.
Yeah, Summer of Love mayor. What was her name? Jenny Durkin.
Oh, man, I don't remember.
Yeah, I don't remember that name either.
No, not at all.
But we all remember what she said.
Wasn't she like the mayor of Seattle or something?
Seattle mayor, yeah. Jenny Durkin.
Durkin.
Did you see a video of Macron with a pile of coke?
Was it? It really seems like it.
That was Photoshop.
I don't know. There was a lot of videos, and then one guy's like, "I grew up in Miami in the 80s." That was coke.
Yeah, come on. Oh, I guess no job.
I guess
and
one guy had a spoon.
The little coke spoon or whatever.
Yeah.
What'd you say, Slick?
I said, "Look, I guess no job." Come on.
Forgot I got a drink.
Who really uses a spoon anymore? Do they?
No.
I thought it was all key.
Well, it wasn't like a big spoon. It was, I guess, something to make the line.
Yeah. Okay.
Spoon up your nose, right?
Keir Starmer's there. Yeah, he just grabs. Yeah. He's hiding it.
Chat. What's going on in the chat? Durkin, yes. Renee Redder Tackett, she knew it. Redecker. Durkin, yes.
Well, yeah, I said it like 30 seconds ago.
No, but I'm just saying. Somebody in the chat also.
But I said it. That's probably
right.
why they heard me say
what
it.
you were saying. It came to mind. You had definitely triggered something in them.
They heard me say it.
That's right. You triggered something.
Why would they hide a clean?
Racing Banshee on X, I can see you, yes.
Janet Guerrera. What's going on, girl?
They're calling it the cocaine train.
Yeah. Had to hide it from Hunter, says James. The Facebook chat. That's hilarious.
Jesus Perez says, I love you guys. I really hope to meet you all someday. Well, come on, Jesus Perez. Down to the warehouse. I know it's easier said than done for some folks, but hopefully everybody gets to see us at some point. Big D? It'd be nice. A lot of good. We have good patriots that come down.
All right, hour two, live from Studio 6B on a Monday, May 12th, getting a brand new week started. Glad you're in. Real America's Voice, of course, Monday through Friday, 8 to 10 p.m. And we, of course, appreciate you giving us a few hours of your weekday night. You could be doing a lot of things, but we appreciate you spending it with us. Right here, Real America's Voice. Slick Sari's doing sports. Rick Delgado's doing news. Kevin Downey Jr. is doing news as well. Aaron and Fran holding it down as always. It's going to be a busy week. Obviously, the president overseas, and there's a lot of hubbubaloo, or whatever you want to call it, about this supposed gift that people keep saying he's getting. He's not getting it. So I've read a lot about this today. I shared a couple things. One by somebody on X. I think it's pronounced Amuse, A-M-U-S-E. Do you guys follow him?
Oh, yes,
or her?
I do. Yep.
He wrote a lengthy thing about this that I thought was pretty good. I shared that. But then I saw Buzz Patterson also give a lengthy write-up about this. And he said, let me try this one last time. The Qatar B-747 was built in the U.S. by Boeing. They are offering a newer 747 to replace one of the two current Air Force Ones that have been flying for the past 40 years. These planes are tired and need to be replaced. The wing based at Andrews Air Force Base has also purchased aircrafts from other countries in the past, which are currently flying around our vice president and senior government officials. This is not new. Qatar is offering the jet to the U.S. military, not to Donald Trump. The Department of Defense contractor is based in the U.S. And he says, in fact, my dad, a retired Air Force general, used to work for them. They are, not ironically, also working to upgrade the FAA technology as we speak. What you see what's going on in Newark Airport and elsewhere. They will get the aircraft and perform all of the security and the installation of the systems that Air Force One requires to safely move our president around the world. Not the Qataris. People just think we're going to take this plane as is, and that's going to be it. They're going to strip it to its bare bones and do what they have to. Back to what he says here. He says, and you and I will pay the cost of that, but we won't pay the $400 million that the 747 would have normally cost. I could tell you exactly what is required to modify the Air Force One by the Department of Defense once we get it, but that's top secret, and then I'd have to kill you. This Air Force One will serve the sitting president. Not this sitting president, all sitting presidents, whether it's Republican or Democrat. And it will do so until Boeing gets their SH together to complete the new upcoming improved 747s that started under President Obama, was renegotiated under Trump, and now has been completely ignored by the Biden administration. It's looking like 2029, 2030 for delivery at the soonest. The whole sky is falling conspiracy grows tiresome. A little knowledge goes a long way. Having flown on the current Air Force One hundreds of times, I have intimate knowledge. And he says, anybody will now want to come at me about chemtrails, which is pretty funny.
I'm right there.
But I think the point maybe is, and I had this article on Friday at the warehouse and never had a chance to get to it. Qatar, the enemy that's in plain sight, I think is the problem. When people look at Qatar, they say that the American president shouldn't be flying on a plane that was purchased with money, the same money that's been used to kill U.S. soldiers around the world and target U.S. servicemen around the world. Shouldn't be purchased with the same revenue. And we all know what Qatar is doing in our universities. This idea that somehow they are not an enemy. Them, Iran, Hamas, all of them, Saudi Arabia. I think that's what most people have an issue with. But this whole conglomeration that people make up about Trump taking the emoluments clause, I mean, what are you talking about? They're not giving it to him.
Yeah, they make it seem like he's going to get the plane, fly it to Florida, take it to golf tournaments, and do all that stuff. It's not the way. It's not how any of this works. If anything, though, he was asked by the press today about the Qatari plane there, Damon. I don't know if you saw this.
No.
Here's cut number 3, asked by an ABC News reporter, and probably should have rethought the asking of this question. Cut number 3. Check this out for yourself.
President, what do you say to people who view that luxury jet as a personal gift to you? Why not leave it behind?
You're ABC fake news, right?
Why
It's
not?
only ABC. Well, a few of you would. Let me tell you, you should be embarrassed asking that question. They're giving us a free jet. I could say, no, don't give us. I want to pay you $1 billion or 400 million or whatever it is. Or I could say, thank you very much. You know, there was an old golfer named Sam Snead. Did you ever hear of him? He won 82 tournaments. He was a great golfer. And he had a motto: when they give you a putt, you say, thank you very much. You pick up your ball and you walk to the next hole. A lot of people are stupid. They say, no, I insist on putting it. And then they putt it and they miss it. And their partner gets angry at them. You know what? Remember that, Sam Snead. When they give you a putt, you pick it up and you walk to the next hole and you say, thank you very much.
Respectfully, sir, as a businessman.
That's a great analogy.
Yeah, I mean, I think it really has been blown out of proportion, but I do think the optics of it are not great, given who it's coming from. And given that I think for the most part, think that the United States president shouldn't be sitting on a plane that's been purchased with revenue that has also been used to target and kill American citizens and kill American soldiers and target American soldiers around the world and wreak havoc. I think that's the issue.
Yeah. Unfortunately, I guess that's not that's not what the mainstream media is concerned with. They're just concerned with, this looks like you're getting it personally, so they got to make it a personal. Trump is doing this, and he's taking it for himself kind of story when it has nothing to do with that whatsoever. According to this article here, he accepted the luxury Boeing 747 as a gift from Qatar. It could be that the Qataris are like, you know what, we're on the wrong side here. We might need to start to get our stuff in line. Who knows? Maybe this is a step in the right direction finally for Qatar, but we'll have to see. I guess history will point out where they end up in the long run. Because like you said, what they've been attached to is not exactly things we would want our friends to be attached to.
Exactly.
And you know what? If they can put bombs and beepers, imagine something tiny inside that plane that maybe our people don't find, and it's close to a fuel tank or close to a fuel line. I would never trust. I mean, if they're killing us, they're killing us. Right. They're bad people, and they should probably be forced to explode themselves.
Yeah, but like Damon said, that jet probably wouldn't even be ready, for a few years till after Trump's out of office anyway.
Yeah, true.
So it's not like they're actually going to be like, oh, we're going to finally get to Trump.
Yeah.
When? He's not president anymore.
Well, no, the new ones I'm saying. The new ones from Boeing won't be ready to 2930. This one could be ready as soon as we do whatever we're going to do to it. The new ones that Boeing has on order from the U.S. government that started under Obama. that Trump tells that story multiple times. He says it has to have a 2 in front of it. It's whatever he negotiated, like $2 billion off each plane. I mean, Boeing is seemingly a mess right now and has been for quite some time. And seems like they won't be able to deliver these planes until 2029, 2030.
Yeah, it's amazing.
They were supposed to be delivered for Trump's first
during his first
presidency.
administration.
That's how late they're going to be. They're going to be 15 years late on these things.
Jesus.
So, I mean, I guess that factors in to some degree as well. But 9 minutes past the hour, let's do some sports. Sports is brought to you by Mike Lindell, MyPillow, mypillow.com/LFS6B for all the best deals for this audience. Slickster, what's going on?
All right, Big D, let's get an update on that score from the Garden. Right now, the Celtics are up 72-58. 9 minutes to go there in the third quarter. This is Game 4. Whoever wins this game probably is going to take the series. New York leading the series right now 2-1. Jason Tatum having a great night already, 25 points to lead all scorers for the Boston Celtics there. And we have the Golden Knights coming up against the Oilers. That's a 9:30 puck drop in the NHL, as well as the Hurricanes over the Capitals, 2-0 with 16 to go there in the third. Another Game 4, and Carolina leading the series 2-1, looking to take a commanding lead out of that. And to cap off the playoff games tonight out in Golden State, good game. I plan on watching that at the Chase Center. The Timberwolves taking on the Warriors, 10 p.m. That's another Game 4. Minnesota leading that series 2-1, also looking for a commanding 3-1 lead. No Steph Curry in the lineup tonight, Big D. He's not expected back until about the 18th with that hamstring injury, and that's a real game changer, obviously, for Golden State, not having him in there. And, some big news there over the weekend. Bill Belichick's girlfriend, Jordan Hudson, places third in Miss Maine USA beauty pageant. Transgender Isabel St. Cyr makes the top 10. Paul Boyer, Breitbart. Bill Belichick may have led the New England Patriots to 6 Super Bowl victories, but he couldn't lead his girlfriend, 24-year-old Jordan Hudson, to first place at the Miss Maine USA beauty pageant. Hudson came in third at the pageant, a disappointing result after winning second place last year. Shelby Powell of Bangor took home the top prize and will be representing her state of Maine at Miss USA this year. Isabel St. Cyr, who made history as the first transgender contestant to compete in the state pageant, made the top 10. According to reports, Hudson seemed none too pleased with placing one tier lower than last year's pageant, per the New York Post. She looked dejected behind her beaming stage smile as the results were read aloud, and it was revealed she'd landed one place worse than she did in 2024. The loss comes after Bill Belichick and Jordan Hudson generated intense controversy over his CBS News Sunday morning interview, wherein Hudson injected herself into the conversation while shutting down questions about their relationship. "We're not talking about that," Hudson said when asked how the two met. Belichick claimed the CBS presented a false narrative with selectively edited clips. So not a lot of good news going on in the Belichick family, Big D, lately. So just wanted to get that story in. And that's pretty much a wrap there, Big D, in sports. That's what I've got right now for you, and that's it at 1:45.
Hey, Slick, did you see that story about there's a real chance that Belichick doesn't even coach a game at USC because of all this?
No, I did not see that story. Out of North Carolina, really?
It just came out a little while ago.
Okay, no, I didn't get
New York Post is saying absolute real chance Belichick never coaches a UNC game.
Wow, he signed a massive
What's
contract.
the reason for that?
I think it could be all swirling around his all this
pageant?
Jordan Hudson stuff.
Wow. A big, yeah. I know they wanted to ban her from the obviously from the facilities, but I thought they overcame that on Friday. I read
They
that.
did. They said she's welcome.
They said she's welcome, but I guess that they're saying things are so dysfunctional behind the scenes when it comes to the power struggle. What they're telling Bill to do, don't have Jordan around anymore, stop behaving this way.
The optics are not good on that.
Things don't look good.
She's the Yoko Ono of football.
I know.
You got that right.
All right, 13 past the hour, live from Studio 6B. More news, sports, all coming up.
Okay.
last week.
Oh, jeez. That the Michigan guy? Yeah. That was some.
That's what I heard. Let me check.
No, they didn't fire. No, they didn't. No. Harbaugh. Yeah, he went to the Chargers. I mean, he's talking about the assistant coach, maybe. But Harbaugh went to the
check
on the Chargers job, right?
Yeah, he retired from the.
Wait, there's 2 Harboroughs, right?
Yeah. That one was Baltimore Ravens.
Okay. Let me see. I thought.
Well, the Knicks are still in it. What are you talking about, Big D? Don't write them off now. Come on now. You got a 5-point game here. What the hell are you talking about? They're done. What is your family saying? Were they riding you a little bit over the weekend? And after that game on Saturday? Oh, we have a guest? Nice. Oh, look at that.
Oh, wait a minute. Was it Kirk Campbell?
It's white.
If the one season
miss.
Oh, I see. He was a quarterback coach. Then he was the offensive coordinator. He's
I can make a coffee.
Yeah,
you got time because I got to read.
I'm going to make a caramel coffee.
They fired their offensive
Wish I knew you had that. I wouldn't have made the coffee I made. Can't have 2. PM. Have we ever done a PM interview? I don't think so.
What is it? Patriot Mobile?
Oh. Brian, when we get to guests, you're going to have to help me with that. Water? Your guess is what? I'll take you out for a free steak if that's what it is. You be quiet, Slick. Sound like the blues. On a Monday night, let me talk to you about our friends over at Birch Gold. This July, there's a global summit of BRICS nations in Rio de Janeiro. The bloc of emerging superpowers, including China, Russia, India, and Iran, are meeting with the goal of displacing the U.S. dollar as the global currency. They're calling this the Rio Reset. As BRICS nations push forward with their plans, global demand for U.S. dollars will decrease, bringing down the value of dollars in your savings. While this transition won't happen overnight, the Rio Reset in July marks a pivotal moment when BRICS objectives more decisively from theoretical possibility towards inevitable reality. Learn if diversifying your savings into gold is right for you. Birch Gold Group can help you move your hard-earned savings into a tax-sheltered IRA in precious metals. Claim your free information kit on gold right now by texting the word America to 989898. They have an A+ rating with the Better Business Bureau. Tens of thousands of happy customers. Let Birch Gold arm you with a free, no-obligation information kit on owning gold before July and before the Rio Reset. So text the word America to 989898 and do it today. Text America and send it to the number 989898 and do it today. 18 past the hour, live from Studio 6B on a Monday. We just did some sports, so let's do some news. Rick Delgado's got it. News is brought to you by our friends at EternalLifeCoin.com, all one word, EternalLifeCoin.com. Free shipping when you use code LFS6B. What's going on, Delgado?
All right. Well, President Trump making tons of news throughout the weekend, and it continued today as a federal judge is now allowing the IRS to share information about alleged illegal immigrants with DHS, Damon. The Trump administration scored this major victory today after the federal judge ruled that the Internal Revenue Service can share its database with the Department of Homeland Security to help locate and identify alleged illegal immigrants. U.S. District Judge Dabney Friedrich sided with the Trump administration in a lawsuit brought by the immigrant right group, Centro Trabajaderos Unidos, that's Spanish for Center of Working whatever, by declining to issue an injunction to block two government agencies from partnering on illegal immigration. Friedrich ruled that the partnership, which allows Immigration and Customs Enforcement, also known as ICE officials, to submit names of illegals to the IRS who could provide the current address to ICE and DHS, did not violate the IRS code. At its core, this case presents a narrow legal issue, according to this article from Just the News, John Solomon's wonderful website. Does the Memorandum of Understanding between the IRS and DHS violate the Internal Revenue Code? The judge ruled it does not. The court agrees that requesting and receiving the information for purposes would constitute a cognizable injury, but not as organizations have established. Long and short of it, guess what? You're not going to be saved. Illegals, all your stuff is going to be shared with the DHS, and they're going to use it to try to remove you because you shouldn't be here in the first place. So there you have that, Damon. How does that grab you?
I mean, what do you mean? How does it grab me?
It's good news.
Yeah, well, yeah. I mean, any judge that we can get good news out of these days is good news.
All right. I'm just making sure you agree. I'm not sure about you sometimes. I know you waffle. Speaking of waffles, what?
Nice segue.
Thank you.
He's gonna
why am I the focus of that story?
Oh, I don't know. Because nobody else was paying attention.
Because you're mad because I saw you on the road? Well, I wasn't paying attention either.
I know you weren't, but I had to get your attention.
You lost me with your Spanish translation earlier.
I like that.
Who was that?
Can you run that through us
I think I ordered that when I went to Del Fuego the other day.
Yes, it was
a side of churros.
It's called the immigrant rights group called Centro de Trabajaderos Unidos.
Yeah, with white rice, please, and black beans on the side.
Was that spicy, that dish? Corn chili.
Sounds like something I caught in Tijuana.
Exactly.
You get a shot for that. What? I'm just pronouncing it as best I can.
Yes. You did a yeoman's job there.
Yeah. Yes, you are.
Is there a problem?
No,
never.
Not at all. Just give me a side of white rice with that. I'm
all
fine.
right. Very good.
Couple of plantains.
I'll take the chicken. Anyhow, switching stories to another part of the world, Damon. This story coming to us courtesy of Sweden, and it's a news story of a cautionary tale. Believe it or not, as Tobias Thyberg, the former ambassador to Afghanistan in Sweden, got his new position on Thursday, last Thursday, as the security advisor to the prime minister, and was supposed to go to a top meeting over the weekend with the prime minister to Oslo. Instead, he had to immediately leave his post about 12 hours after taking office. Why, you ask, Damon?
Why?
Well, you like this. Shortly after the appointment was announced, information was spread to the media that he could pose a security risk. That not being good if you're now the top security advisor. It was reported that the state secretary, Johan Stewart, stated that a completely new set of personal information about Thyberg had come out, which was completely unknown to the government offices at the time of his appointment. A little later, Thyberg wrote that he was resigning his national security advisor post and confirmed to the newspaper that there are old pictures from an account he had on Grindr, a dating platform for LGBTQ people. He should have, as it says here, he said, I should have informed them about this, but I didn't, which means it looks like Tobias Thyberg may have lost a job as security advisor to the prime minister because he was showing a little too much of his own Thyberg in pictures on the internet there, Damon. So
Joe
There you have
Ed
it.
Jr. on Rumble says Delgado not speako Spanish. Very
El Yeso.
And someone
You'd be
else said,
correcto.
aren't you supposed to be New York Rican or something?
Yeah.
Call yourself?
Well,
Yeah, he's close to Rican.
Sort of Rican?
I'm sort of Rican, yes.
Puerto Rican.
Well, that obviously didn't transfer over to your
No.
translational abilities.
Exactly.
Okay.
You know, what's
Now-
funny is that my nephew sent the same note to my mom that I read in her card for Mother's Day that he sent up. It said, thank you for not teaching my mom how to cook and not teaching her how to speak Spanish.
Okay. All right, what
Happy
else?
Madres Day.
Anything else in the news, Delgado?
I don't know. You want me to keep going?
Oh, please.
Well, what do you mean? I don't know. I don't do the news here. You do the news. So
All right.
if you don't know, who's going to know?
Well, real quick, I don't know if you caught this by Scott Bessent over the weekend talking about the China deal. Here he is talking about China and what the Biden administration did and didn't do when it comes to dealing with China and it comes to tariffs. Check this out. Cut number 1. Check it out for yourself.
What has to happen is it has to be fair for the American people. But in January 2020, President Trump produced a template. We had an excellent trade agreement with China, and the Biden administration chose not to enforce it. The Chinese delegation basically told us that once President Biden came into office, they just ignored their obligations. So, we all already have a large framework.
Yeah. So there he was talking about the China
Wow,
deal that some people
they were able to
complaining
pick up on Biden's weakness right away. I'm shocked by that.
Yeah, you know what? I think handing the crackhead son Hunter a couple of mil didn't help their or didn't hurt their case either. Remember, folks, the Chinese paid the Bidens off. That's why that spy balloon went over us. They could have shot it down over the Aleutians, over the ocean. They chose not to because they paid the Biden family. The House Oversight Committee has it all, and they actually have a dossier that came out a few years ago. Said the son has a drug problem, and I think they said a hankering for cheap prostitutes, for cheap, low-level hooas, as they say in New York. I actually caught that on The Sopranos, too. Hooah.
Was that Sarah with an H or without?
All right,
Friday night.
26 past the hour, live from Studio 6B.
Because that's what the H stands for.
More to do. We're back right after this.
Yeah, I got to talk to. I think I'm going to talk to Doug and Jeff. Maybe they could do some local, networking or campaigning at the there too, because they're all running now. That's a big year for town council of Islip. That's Islip, and then also county is running this year too. They're both running, so it's a big year.
What about those Setauket Patriots? I think they call themselves.
Oh yeah, they're fantastic. The
Yeah,
Setauket
maybe-
Patriots.
I
You
wonder
got to go
if
down
they-
there
what if they
to one of
even
their
know?
protests and rile them up, Kevin.
Yeah,
we're
maybe.
down on what is it? Setauket Patriots would be fantastic. Delgado, you know them down there, right? Delgado, we should go visit them on a Saturday.
I've kind of.
Hopefully there's no Spanish names under there that you have to talk to.
Why? Is that going to be a problem? What do you don't like Spanish people, David?
Yeah, because Jesse
Spanish
has a
is
big
quite
thing.
terrible.
Jesse has like a whole GOP. He has like a whole huge GOP mailing list. I'm on the emails, and he does like a lot of it's obviously fundraisers, campaigns, and all. Maybe they could tie something in, with Joe. I'm surprised they don't do more events there.
I actually did take Spanish in high school, and I got a B.
I took Chinese at Hofstra.
Did
Got
you?
an A.
Did you?
Look at the Knicks.
Shishani.
The Knicks are right back in it. They won't go away.
Konnichiwa.
Shishani.
Hey. I'll have the number 2 and the 17.
What's going on?
That's
What's
not-
going on? in
That's
the
not
chat?
Chinese?
No, that's it.
Up, drag blacker, $5. Here's $2 for the equivalent in
Who do we
peso.
got here?
Wait, hold on. I got to read. I'm gonna read drag blacker.
Oh no, I'm not talking to you. Sorry, I'm talking to them. Okay.
Here's the $2. Here's $2 or the equivalent in pesos.
What? Did that count? That was wild.
Les Dorham gave us $5. Just let you know, I enjoy LFS 6B. Y'all make me crack up. Thanks for y'all. And Drag Black says, here's $2 or the equivalent in pesos for Delgado to take remedial Spanish.
Damon, you do and you clean it up.
El
What does
Dos
that
De
mean?
Niro.
Ratchet.
See, that's 2.
Don't know what that means.
What do we got here? A guest?
We think.
Moon Pie. Hello to Moon Pie.
Piano 1.
Fran, we don't have to do anything, right? They have to come to us? Okay.
Come to us.
Piano 1.
Set a goal.
Those big words that they're giving me to say here are not English, so.
This game.
All right, 30 minutes past the hour, live from Studio 6B on a Monday night, May 12th, getting a brand new week started. Let's get to a couple things I want to do tonight. We'll get to Kevin Downey Jr.'s news right now. And then if we have time, I want to get into the ugly truth about the big, beautiful bill. And then if we have time, I want to play the official music video for Gulf of America.
Oh, good.
By our friend Garrett Miles and our friend Michael Curtis.
Nice.
Who is now out. So maybe we'll do that before we end the show as well. We'll do some more sports with Slick. But let's get to the host of the Kevin Downey Jr. Show. He is Kevin Downey Jr., 9 to 11 weekday mornings on LI News Radio 103.9 here in Long Island, New York. I saw Jerry Seinfeld. Did you remember his skit about being on or in Long Island? No, you live in the city. Once you leave the city, you're on Long Island. You're not in Long Island.
That's true.
I don't know how, in Staten Island, too. Do you live on Staten Island or in Staten Island?
No, on, definitely.
On.
I would think so, but
No, you live in Staten Island.
No, you
I live in Staten Island.
Yeah,
I live on Staten Island.
But why don't we live on Manhattan?
Because it's different.
It's
you just have to know it. If you were born here, you'd know.
Gotcha.
I'm with you, Kev.
You weren't born here.
You weren't born here, Detroit, Michiganer.
You're white trash.
You probably say pop.
You're white trash. Actually, I'm not white trash. My parents didn't rent. They owned our double wide. Thank you.
There you go.
I am Caucasian
Happy
debris.
trailers.
You're what?
Caucasian debris. Because they owned and did not rent. Look at this. A little update. Little update on Dirty Tish, Leticia James. She's in panic mode. How do I know that? Well, I've been watching her speeches. And what she's doing is she's encompassing everyone into her problems. She's saying things like, we will fight back. We will survive. We will, no, you will go to jail. She's going on her own. But she's doing this to sort of circle the wagons, get some support for herself. Next stop, she's going to go to the churches. Mark my words, when politicians are in trouble, they go to the churches because they're much more likely to, be forgiven. But they're not going to go. They're not going to go to. It's going to be a Catholic church or an Episcopal. You know what I mean? Some sort of Christian thing. It's not going to be one of those houses of Islam where they plan to blow us up and get paid to do it. They're all a lot of those houses of worship for the Muslims. They're taking money, or they were, from USAID. I'm finding out now, and I'll have more about that later. But back to Tish. She says, Trump wants revenge, and he has people sitting outside my house. That's not Trump doing this. The juice behind this is a man named Sam Antar, who used to run Crazy Eddie's. And if you'd have to probably be over 40, I guess. 45.
We talk about I read his posts all the time from X.
Okay, there you go. And he's the one behind it. And look at this. Someone said, Trump. Look at this. This is Sam Antar. He answers everyone who tells a lie about him. And here he is saying, nice try, MSNBC. I'm a Democrat. Always have been. No MAGA fumes here. Just a stench of 40 years of falsified mortgages, undisclosed rental income, and taxpayer-funded jet rides. If Leticia James wants to play victim, she can do it on her own dime, not mine. And what he's talking about, it says here, MAGA fumes over New York's plans to pay Leticia James legal bills. Now, this is a scandal. scandal that is not getting the attention it deserves. The state of New York, well, not the people who live there, the politicians, they decided that we, the people in New York, were going to pay their legal bills. That means they can commit all the crimes they want, and they're legal, their lawyers are paid for. And gee, who do you think's going to be in judging them? Who do you think the jury is going to be? All you need is one Marxist to go, I don't think she did it, even though they're looking at her signatures and blatant lies. But she's falling apart. And you can tell by the fake laughs that politicians do when they're caught. And that's what she's doing, all right? So that is big. She's in panic mode. And I've heard lawyers say there's no way out of this because it's literally in black and white. This is my home. I'm going to live here. Circle, sign. And remember what she said to Trump. He said, well, I didn't value Mar-a-Lago. Well, you signed it, so you had to know, as though Trump's not busy enough. Now, this is all going to come back and bite her in that 4-acre bahookie that she sits on when she gives these speeches. She's huge. I don't know if you've noticed that.
4-acre bahookie.
Yeah, it's an acre of bahookie.
You mean Tubby Tish, yes.
Yeah, there you go. So I'm enjoying it. I want to see Fauci go down first, but man, watching Leticia James, a total bona fide Marxist, yeah, we got to take him down, and I'm happy to see it. And the whole someone said, well, you're a Christian, you turn the other cheek. Not when it comes to communists. Put her in jail.
It's 2 acres.
It's 2 acres. It's 2 acres per side.
Yeah, I wonder what she paid in taxes for that too.
You know what? I think it's got a zip code, that bahookie. I think it's got its own zip code.
I won't doubt it.
And check this out. This is from Just the News. Came out at 6 p.m. tonight. ICE just arrested 422 illegal immigrants in a Texas sweep, including some wanted for murder and sexual assault. I shall read briefly in my broadcaster's voice. A breakdown of the 422 arrests found that 262 had criminal convictions, 34 have pending convictions, and 126 have other immigration violations. 229 have final orders of removal. 7 of these cats did time for murder and rape. But it doesn't matter. When Biden's president, come on in. We need rapists here. Because, again, that is part of the takeover. I hate to talk about it. It's filthy and disgusting. But look at this. We're allowing rapists to walk free if they fit the right box. And that would be illegal immigrant mostly. And it's all part of the plan. But this is great. I don't know how many Trump can get out. But they're really going to town on this. And it's way more than I thought there would be. And I'm pretty impressed with Trump and Tom Homan has done thus far. What do you boys think?
Yeah, definitely. Right. And I love the fact that Holman is out right in their faces about it. He doesn't care. If you speak up and you say, oh, we're going to do this, he's like, all right, fine. He calls you on it.
Yeah.
If you want to do that, go ahead. Don't be surprised if we come and have to take care of business, which means arresting you. And, some of these judges, I feel like we haven't seen any judges in the last week or so try to help any of the illegals escape custody, have we?
No, but we did see a bunch of knucklehead Marxists in Newark, New Jersey, show up at that ICE detention center.
Yes.
One of them was, is it Bobby Menendez Jr.?
Yes.
All right, if both of my parents went away for being crooks, I'd probably shut up for a while. I'd probably keep that. The cops escalated it. No, there's that LaMonica chick, a bunch of people just getting. I want to take them down. No one's ever heard of them. This is their little play for, who's going to be the runner-up to, whomever wins the Jasmine Crockett AOC Nutfest fight. They just I think they want to be in that. This is really the time for the crazy Marxists to shine, and out they come.
Yeah, and plus you have the mayor of Newark. Yeah. He was the big get, I guess, last week as he got arrested. And just so happens, what's funny is that I caught some news program about it over the weekend, and right after they ran that story, what played? Mayor of Newark running for governor. His campaign ad. So that's why he's trying. He's got to raise his profile. Why? Because he wants to be governor of the state, and you can't be governor if nobody knows who the hell you are.
You know what?
He's trying to make a name for himself.
Yep, and I think the next New Jersey governor is going to be a Republican, either Chitterelli or Bill Spadia.
Oh, that'd be
Bill
great.
Spadia works at 101.5 New Jersey. He's got millions of people listening to him every day. He's MAGA. He's on our side. He can absolutely take this.
Oh, that'd be great.
And he's running for governor?
He's running for governor.
Wow.
And who really, at this point, even in Jersey?
Didn't Trump endorse a guy today?
Who?
Trump endorsed somebody running for governor of New Jersey today.
Was it?
Bill
Spadia.
No.
He pronounced it Spadia.
No.
No?
Trump endorsed somebody, Canfield, I think his last name is.
Really?
Trump endorsed Canfield today, running for New Jersey governor.
Holy moly.
Or am I delusional?
I'll check.
No, I think it's Cantfield is the last name.
Jack Citarelli.
Oh, Jack Citarelli.
Yeah.
All right.
You were close.
Okay. I was close. Yeah, Trump endorsed him today.
And that was one of your two picks, right there, Kev?
Yes.
Citarelli or...
I was thinking, is it Citarelli or Chitterelli? Whatever it is. It's either him or Bill Spadia, the radio guy.
Right.
Okay, there you go. Very good.
Well, that's what he did 2 hours ago. Trump made a huge endorsement in that hotly contested governor's race there, Damon.
Yep.
Picking Jack Citarelli, or Chitterelli, whatever his name is, to run for governor. He's a New Jersey assemblyman.
He almost won last election, too. He was closer than anyone thought it would be. And I'm not even, you know what, I don't trust any election where a Democrat wins now. I've never seen one election where we said, well, we got to count the votes and have it go towards a Republican.
Right.
Never.
Yeah.
Not one.
Exactly. He touted Citarelli's efforts to grow the economy, cut taxes, regulations, increase American energy dominance, and the Second Amendment. Also, Jack is the Republican candidate who's best positioned, according to Trump, to stand tall against the radical Democrats, and most importantly, ensure a big victory in this very important gubernatorial election, he wrote. So there you have it, the endorsement for New Jersey governor over the other guy. And, of course, Governor Phil Murphy is term limited and can't run in 2025.
Thank God.
Rick, do you know how to say the word gubernatorial in Spanish?
Yes, gubernatorial O.
There you go.
You got to add an O.
I'm not buying that.
No, me neither.
No. All right, Kev, anything else?
Chinese.
Oh, I got tons of stuff.
Almost salsa.
You want another one?
Yeah, sure.
Let's do it. All right, let's do this one. So I don't know if you guys noticed it. This is just old school Marxism. During the 2020 Festival of Love in Chicago, they tore down 2 Christopher Columbus statues. And they've been waiting to put them back up. But Brandon Johnson he's way more of a communist than that pug-looking lady with Marty Feldman eyes. You know what I'm talking about. I can't remember her name.
Yeah.
Gordon Lightfoot. That's her name. She identifies as Gordon Lightfoot. I hear someone does a mean Gordon Lightfoot impression here.
No, that's not fair to Gordon. What are you talking about?
Not fair to Gordon.
You could read my mind.
Anyway, these statues aren't going back up because Christopher Columbus is a colonizer. So they're going off to museums. And folks, remember, right out of the Communist Playbook, rewrite history. Remember, rewrite it. Mao did it. Everyone does it. Rewrite history to what you want it to be, and then you stuff it down the throats of the kids coming, and they're never going to ask because they're always going to be brainwashed. But this is, yet again, erasing history. And they've had it, you know, they've been going after him for a long time. I actually saw... Oh, it's hilarious. Some, I don't know what he identifies as. He's screaming at some 60-year-old white woman, "You colonizer! You colonizer!" I love when these idiots have to go back 400 years to find something to call us. How about, we identify as your conquistador. Ah, there you go. A little Spanish for you boys and girls out there.
How do you say that in Spanish?
El Conquistador.
Yes. Oh.
El Conquistador. Oh.
Well, that's what the left does, right? Though? I mean, Kev, to your point, the left is it's that old eternal difference of the power of language, which of course obviously is all built around liberty, and of course then it's the power over language, which of course is all built around tyranny.
Yes.
And of course the left chooses the latter, and they try to do it on all different levels. So, to your point, I actually get it. So. All right, we'll do some more sports news. If we have some time, we'll play brand new music video out, Gulf of America, from our friend Michael Curtis and Garrett Miles. If we have time, we'll play a little bit of that as well. We'll wrap it up for a Monday live from Studio 6B right after this.
Now, is there a penalty for diving like there is in hockey?
Not in basketball, no. You kidding me? The way those guys flop? Oh, God. Some of the worst flops you ever see, they don't call it.
Oh, it's embarrassing.
Most of the time when they do it, they get the call.
Who's that?
This is going to be some. Oh, look at that. Nice shot. Oof, teardrop. Look at this big thing.
Gotcha.
Boston just, I don't know, they really looked so good. Knicks just, the Knicks just, they persevere. They just stay in it. This kid Tatum will kill you, though, boy. Gets hot, he'll kill you. Look at him. He gets every roll. That guy gets more rolls than a deli on a Sunday morning. Unbelievable. What do we got? Chat. Going on super.
What is it?
Yeah. I mean, well, you should. Did he send it to you today? I think he should. Okay, is there any chance they might come up? That'd be nice. Love to have him there. We got to get a good crowd for him. Let's see. What do we got here? No super chats, but we got Shorty 22, the great Gordon Lightfoot. That's all. Drag Blacker, another $5. The irony about Columbus Day is that it was created to appease Italian Americans. Now it's being taken away to appease anti-white people. That's good. That's a good one, Drag Blacker. Peggy P, I wish Maryland was a red state. Keep wishing. We're waiting. Mary Lynn Schwoob, go Knights. Oh, yeah, Vegas Knights. They're hanging in there. Big game tonight. Look at this game, man. Could it get any tighter? 94-92. 8:53 to go. 1 point game. Look at this. Delgado, you better get in your car. Right? You like to be in your car when the game ends?
Yes. All right, 13 to the hour, live from Studio 6B. So our friend Michael Curtis and, of course, Garrett Miles, who you've been introduced to on this show, of course, wrote the fantastic Jimmy Buffett-like, Coral Reefer-esque Gulf of America, and they just shot a music video for it, and he sent it to me. And I thought you guys would enjoy seeing it. So here's a little bit of it. Our friend Michael Curtis and, of course, Garrett Miles, who's just fantastic, the official music video for Gulf of America. Here it is.
Now, we're flying over a thing called the Gulf of America, and I'm signing a proclamation, and perhaps you could define that.
This is a proclamation declaring today, February 9th, 2025, as the first ever Gulf of America Day. This follows the President's executive order issuing a name change from the Gulf of Mexico to the Gulf of America.
And we're flying right over it right now.
All the way from South Point, Texas, around and down through the Florida Keys. You can sail those Gulf Stream waters, catch a ride on a summer breeze. And when the people fly, oh glory, man, you couldn't ask for more.
Some voice. What a
on
voice.
The Gulf of America, that patriotic shore. We got crab shacks, bring your tack, man, this is where it's at. Fish right off the pier. Get a suntan, make a plan to come play in the sand any time of year. USA can proudly say we got the best beaches and more on patriotic show. I took a trip down to the Sunshine State to get away and have some fun. I met a girl down on the white hot sand, just soaking up the sun. She had a red, white, and blue umbrella. Now my heart is falling for the girl on the Gulf of America, that patriotic shore. We got crab shacks, bring your tack, man, this is where it's at. Fish right off the pier. Get a suntan, make a plan to come play in the sand any time of year. The USA can proudly say we got the best beaches and more on the Gulf of America, that patriotic shore. We got cruise liner, shrimp boats, all kinds of things that float, proudly flying our flag. In the water, in the sun, friendly folks having fun. Now pardon me while I brag. President Trump proclaimed and changed the name to one that we adore. It's the Gulf of America, that patriotic shore. Now it's the Gulf of America, that patriotic shore.
Oh, down at the Flobama.
Nice. Yeah, a little Jimmy Buffett.
He did that well.
Very good.
There you go.
Wow, man, that's awesome. What a great voice that young man has.
Make America great again, right? That's what we care about.
Pretty good. Pretty good.
Yeah, it really does have a Buffett style to it.
Doesn't it have a
man,
Buffett?
come
Yeah,
on.
definitely, right?
Yeah.
Big D, you're a big parrot head. You love Buffett, right? Yeah.
Oh, man, there's a bunch of Buffett songs that I hear when I listen to that.
That was a beauty.
So-
That was an absolute beauty.
All right, 9 minutes to the hour, live from Studio 6B. Let's do a little more sports and news. Slick, I'll start with you, then I'll check with Delgado and see if Kevin has anything else real quick. What else is going on in sports?
I don't think the Garden has seen these kind of blows since the original Frazier Ali fight in the Garden back in, what was that, Big D, 71? Unbelievable. This game is back and forth. Right now, the Knicks leading by 3, 102-99, 6:32 to go in the fourth. Just when you think the Knicks are down, boom, they come bouncing right back. This is a big game. Knicks lead the series 2-1. If the Knicks can go up 3-1, it's pretty much done. It'll be about a 95% chance of the Knicks winning the series. So, wow, unbelievable. So we'll keep you up to date on that. We got the Timberwolves taking on the Warriors. That's also a game 4. Minnesota also looking to extend their lead to 3-1. Right now leading 2-1, and that's a 10 p.m. tip-off at the Chase Center in Golden State with no Steph Curry in the lineup, which is a big blow, obviously, for the Warriors. Steph Curry expected back this weekend if they can extend this series that far. NHL to the ice we go. We got some great playoffs there. Right now, we just had a game go final. East, second round. Carolina takes a commanding 3-1 lead over the Washington Capitals by way of a 5-2 victory in Carolina. So not looking good for the Caps there. Down 3-1. Oilers and Golden Knights just underway. No score there. Edmonton as well looking to take up 3-1 lead. They lead 2-1. Golden Knights looking to battle in there. And Mary Schwoob there in the YouTube chat says, "Go Knights!" So we're going to pull for the Knights for her. Hopefully they can pull that game out. I only see Big D. I'm going to get to a story where I had it all queued up, and I got it. Hold on a second now. There we go. We got NCAA president is open to Donald Trump's idea of starting a commission. This is Andrea Adelson of ESPN, Amelia Island, Florida. NCAA President Charlie Baker said Monday he was up for anything when asked about President Trump's proposed commission on collegiate athletics. Reports surfaced last week that President Trump was going to create the commission, while his conversations at ACC meetings with league football coaches coaches, men's and women's basketball coaches, athletic directors, and other school officials focused on governance and the pending House settlement. Baker was asked during an informal press availability for his thoughts on the Presidential Commission. I think the fact that there's an interest on the executive side on this, I think it speaks to the fact that everybody is paying a lot of attention right now to what's going on in college sports. Baker said, "I'm up for anything that can help us get somewhere." Baker noted the NCAA has already spent time in Washington asking for congressional help that is focused on 3 big issues. Among the biggest, a patchwork of state laws that relate to how collegiate athletics work in individual states and whether student athletes should be considered employees. I think Congress can help us. I really do. ACC Commissioner Jim Phillips said during an interview with ACC Network, "We have to be very bold on the desire for a national standard when it comes to name, image, and likeness. With these NILs, Big D, they may step in and look to regulate that. These young men are getting a lot of money, and, it might need to be looked at. We'll see what happens." So we'll follow that story as it continues to develop.
Let the free markets dictate. Let the free markets dictate. All right, Slick, very good. Delgado, anything else on your radar?
Just the Diddy trial kicked off today with the first witnesses up, including testimony from a male escort whose salacious testimony had all 3 of Sean Diddy Combs' daughters, Delia, Jesse, and Chance, all 18, as a matter of fact, stood up and left the courtroom after the male escort, Daniel Phillip, began divulging salacious details to the jury. So we'll keep an eye on that.
Didn't I hear one of the big witnesses disappeared or something last week?
I don't know. I didn't see that. Not in this report, anyway.
I heard one of the big witnesses that the prosecution was trying to go after has all of a sudden disappeared, not willing to work with them.
Disappeared or been disappeared?
No, I think disappeared, not been disappeared. Although at this point, what would be the difference?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, that's what I heard. I don't know.
Yeah, that's all I have for now.
All right, very good. Thanks to everybody. Of course, you can hear Kevin Downey Jr. weekdays, 9 to 11 on the Kevin Downey Jr. Show, 103.9 LI News, where you can hear us Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday night live from the America First Warehouse. We will be this Friday, and we look forward to seeing you there. And if not this Friday, some Friday down the road, of course. As always, we salute our military, active and active, police, firefighters, first responders, EMTs, all emergency personnel, everybody that keeps the country moving forward and keeps us safe. Thanks, guys, on the show. Aaron, Fran, great job as always. Most of all, thank you, the live from Studio 6B audience. We'll see you tomorrow night, right here, 8 p.m., Real America's Voice, live from Studio 6B.